Namaste, everyone. Welcoming you all to the 22nd episode of the Mind Care webinar series, organized by DAV Prashasti, the Medical Guidance, Mind Care, Yoga, and Naturopathy Initiative of the DAV Group, Chennai. Today's topic is about overcoming hidden scars, addressing mental health after bullying. It's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Jyoti Kolatur, Senior Consultant Psychologist at the DAV Group. Mrs. Jyoti Kolatur is an accomplished psychologist specializing in general and relationship counseling, career guidance, soft skills, suicide prevention, and addressing adolescent issues. She navigates individuals and families through challenges, fostering resilience. She's also the founding member of the Tamil Nadu Career Counseling Association, and she is an invited speaker in many national conferences. And also, she is part of the counseling initiatives of the government, including the Tamil Nadu Police. She's a CBT trained professional whose expertise extends to career counseling and incorporating mindfulness, creating a holistic approach to mental well-being. Looking forward to yet another fruitful discussion, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am, for the warm welcome, and congratulations, Prashasti team, on your 22nd webinar series and many more to come. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste, everyone. Hope you're all doing good. Yeah. Okay. Today, like ma'am was talking about, it is, we have done a lot of webinar series on bullying, cyberbullying. So today it's about, about the after effects, we are going to talk about that today. So let's begin with a moment of reflection. So can you all just please, close your eyes for a few seconds and think back to your school or college days, right? Was there even a moment when someone's words or actions made you feel very small, or made you feel excluded or ashamed of yourself? A moment that still lingers in your mind, somewhere there, quietly in your memory. And, even after this many years, it is still there. Open your eyes now. And was there anything, like, I'm sure all of us have gone through that, right? So even after this many years, if it is still there, it means it has affected us, right? Bullying is often, any school I go to or anybody we get to meet, they always say, oh, it's a normal part of growing up, ma'am. It is actually dismissed, like, how they will say, oh, kids are not. It is just for joke. Or, kids will get over it, ma'am. You don't worry. So this is how it is usually said. But that's not actually the truth. The truth is many never overcome it. Bullying doesn't always leave, bruises on the body. It often leaves scars on their mind and self-esteem. Sometimes it is even harder to see, and sometimes it's even harder to heal, actually, bullying, right? So some carry those scars silently for years. That's why we are able to remember what happened when, it happened in grade 6 or 7. Others stop participating. They stop trusting people. They even stop dreaming. Right? Today's session is all about that, these hidden scars, and how we as individuals, right, can recognize, understand, and support mental health after bullying. Okay, so we'll look into real life cases. Usually, if you would have attended my sessions, I would always share case histories without sharing the names, and explore the emotional toll it's going to take on us. And most importantly, talk about hope, healing, and recovery. Okay, give me a few seconds. I would like to share my presentation. Can you see? Can you see?
We can see your PowerPoint, ma'am, but not the full screen, ma'am.
Okay. Can you now?
Yes, perfect, ma'am.
Perfect. Okay. So this is what we're going to talk about today. It's overcoming hidden scars, right? So we're talking about the mental health after bullying. So can someone tell me what is actually bullying? Is there a definition for bullying? உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச bullying உடைய மீனிங் சொல்லுங்க. What do you think bullying is?
Tease someone.
Tease someone, yes.
There's one in the chat box, ma'am. Repeated hurting.
Repeated hurting, right? Yes, it is repeated hurting. Okay. What else?
They will make fun of some person, particular person, ma'am.
Exactly. Targeting particular person, right? Yes.
Isolate a person, make you feel low. All child chat box.
Correct.
Hurting
Correct.
someone's feeling.
Hurting someone's feeling, yes. Right? Did you see there were so many definitions, right? Yeah.
Making fun on physical features.
Exactly. Your looks, your physical features, yes. Do you think bullying is purposeful or do you think bullying is accidental?
They are not doing it purposefully, ma'am, but they are having entertainment on that, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, according to the proper definition, it is purposeful. They know they are teasing. There is a very fine line, right? Teasing, we say teasing is okay. See, that's the only way they can form friendship, right? So usually teasing, and then eventually they become very good friends. But there should be a boundary, right? Teasing and bullying, there's a very fine line. So teasing, okay, I am also okay with you teasing me. Then it is okay. But constantly, I'm telling you not to do it. I'm asking you to stop, and you continue to do it, right? So bullying is actually purposeful. Bullying is purposeful, repeated behavior designed to cause physical and emotional distress. Okay, and then what is cyberbullying? Cyberbullying is similar, but it is used, using technology. It can be internet, or it can be the gaming networks, or it can be the chat rooms, all of this. So, using technology, that is still bullying. Okay. So there are, different types of bullying. So can someone tell me, like, do you know the different types of bullying, or are there types of bullying? What are the different types? No?
So
There is not
there's physical bullying, there's
yeah.
verbal bullying, there's cyber bullying.
Yes.
There are more different types of bullying, but these are the main areas of bullying which we can see.
Correct. Majority, right? So mainly it's like when it is right, physical bullying, verbal bullying, social bullying, cyber bullying, right? Then what is this physical bullying? We all know this, right? Hitting and kicking and pushing and physically, intimidating someone. This is physical bullying, and it is usually, this is not happening nowadays. This used to happen, but now if you notice, this is not much. Physical bullying is not much. Verbal bullying is really high. So either insulting somebody or calling them by name, threatening somebody, other forms of verbal abuse, all of this will come under verbal bullying. And the last at least 3-4 years, I'm noticing verbal bullying is more than physical bullying. What is the social bullying? Social bullying is, damaging somebody's, social relationship, or, spreading rumor, or manipulating somebody. So all of this is common. And again, if you have noticed, I'm sure all of you are adults here, right? So when you were in school and college, were you able to, you had a good network of friends, right? At least, 2 or 3, you all had good friends. They would also tease you. But now if you notice, most of the kids, whoever, they are still in a gang, they are still in a group, but they don't have strong friendship. They don't, most of them feel very lonely. They don't have good friends. And again, most of the time we are noticing this one friend, the so-called friend, is the one who is spreading the rumor. The one is that so-called friend is the one manipulating, right? Damaging your relationship or your reputation, right? And what is the cyberbullying? Cyberbullying, again, using digital platforms, using social media, messaging apps, where whatever possible, correct? Threatening or embarrassing a person. Cyberbullying is also really, really high. First is cyberbullying, and then it is verbal, then it is social, and then it is physical. Okay, so a lot of psychological impacts. What are all the psychological impacts? First, it's shame. Constantly feeling broken, or I am not good enough, right? Due to others' hurtful actions or words. See, for example, we think bullying happens only in school, right? Sometimes bullying can happen at home also. A child who's constantly compared with the sibling at home, even weekly compare panna koda, they feel they are never enough. So that shame is going to be there. Fear, always, anxious about, okay, some situation, repeat aidamoங்கிற fear. Okay, if a child is a teenager is being bullied in school, he has this, the social rejection, not as a teenager, but as an adult when he grows up. Anger, always suppressed, it's always masked, but they have this anger, helplessness. They feel, I'm feeling stuck. I'm unable to, protect myself. They are not, they are teenagers, and we all know their brain is not completely developed. This part, which is the frontal part, decision making, none of this, it's developed. So they feel helpless. A child witnessing a family conflict also will feel helpless. Right, though that does not come under bullying, but that comes under emotional effects, because these are all the psychological impacts a teenage child is going to go through. So what is this cognitive effects which is going to go through inside their head? அது யாராலையும் பார்க்கலாம் முடியாது, but they can feel it. Okay, so low self-worth, I'm not lovable, I don't matter, nobody likes me, nobody cares for me. Correct? So again, constantly, if a child is being criticized at home, or usually academically poor இருந்தா வீட்லயும் திட்டுவாங்க, டீச்சர்ஸும் திட்டுவாங்க, and and performance low, even boss will scold you. So if this person has always been going through this, he will start believing that I am not good enough. And that also is bullying. Sometimes we think only a student will bully a student, right? It's not necessarily true. It is sometimes a teacher constantly criticizing, then you are making that child believe that, okay, I'm not good enough, I really don't matter in this world. Okay, so I always mess up things, repeatedly blaming, every time things go wrong, and never been appreciated at all. If somebody is bullied you, you go tell, weekly or teachers, what do they tell you? Stop overacting, or you have to toughen up, you have to talk back, you have to, all these are the words, in parents and teachers, both of them say this, right? So what happens there? It is like, oh, okay, then I am too sensitive, there's something wrong with me, not others. Correct? So, and the reality, I don't deserve love. This is another thing lot of kids tell. I'm a burden. Have you heard kids say that? A lot of kids have told that. I have to be perfect to be accepted. So for that, I will try all of the things. So these are all the cognitive effects a child is going through. Okay, and next is the behavioral effects. What are the behavioral effects the child will go through? Can you tell me, so that it's not like me sitting and talking all by myself? So what do you think are the behavioral effects you can see a child who has undergone bullying will have?
Inferiority complex.
Yes, inferiority complex.
The
They
kids
won't
will
talk in public, ma'am.
They won't talk. Yes, they will avoid people, avoid talking. Yes,
they may become rude also.
they may become,
Rude also, ma'am. At
yes,
times
rude and aggressive, right? Yes, they may become rude and aggressive also. What else?
Sometimes they remain silent, ma'am.
They become, yes, they mute, right? They become mute.
Yeah.
They loses their confidence, ma'am.
Yes, they lose their confidence. Ishu Somu, I think you're talking, but you're on mute, so I'm not able to hear you.
They stop socializing.
Yeah, socializing, yes, they will not socialize. Right? There's one important point I'm waiting for that. Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to say that.
They'll be adamant while taking their decisions, ma'am.
They become adamant, yes. See, generally, a teenager will be adamant, correct? But this one adds up. Okay, I'm just waiting for that one. I'm hoping, like, I'm sure you all would know that, but when, I'm just.
Something, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Fear.
They might hide whatever they want to share. They
Yes,
started hiding.
yes, they will hide. Like, all of that is withdrawal, right?
Chat box, they have given
hating themselves.
self-harm, and they themselves will start bullying.
Yes, self-harm was the one I was waiting for, right? So one is withdrawal, the other one is self-harm, the other thing is aggression. So withdrawal is they will completely pull away from people. They will become mute. You all told, right? They will stop talking. They will, social settings, they don't want to be there. Responsibilities, so that they think, okay, if I avoid all of this, I will not have to go through, because they are not able to go through this rejection. A teenager who's always been mocked, or we always tell it's okay to express your emotions, but when a teenager expresses his emotion, he's always been made fun of. If a girl child cries in the classroom, she's okay, but when a boy cries, he's not able to take whatever is happening. He's still been mocked. Oh, you're a crybaby, and that's it. And he would stop talking. He will never share his feelings, and he will isolate himself. Correct. And if you're, we think bullying happens only for kids. No, even adults go through bullying, right? So you're in an organization when your boss is constantly ridiculing you, and you will stop, talking. You'll start, even at, even in meetings, you would not talk. You'll just listen and not respond at all, right? If a child gets up and asks a question in the classroom, and somebody made fun of him or fun of her, they would never participate. That's about it, right? So have you ever, avoided something, when I say avoided something, எனக்கு வந்து அதை அவாய்ட் பண்ணணும்னு இல்லை மேம், பட் ஆனால் நான் ஏதாவது சொன்னால் அதுக்கு என்ன யாராவது கிண்டல் அடிச்சிருவாங்களோன்னு சொல்லி நான் ஐ நெவர் டாக், ஐ நெவர் ஓப்பன் அப். ஹேவ் யூ எவர் ஃபெல்ட் தட்?
Yes, ma'am.
No, no.
Yes. Yeah. Because right, sometimes, I'm asking you a question. Sometimes you know the answer, but we do not answer because, what if I'm wrong? What if, I'm wrong? And what if people will make fun of me? Right? We all have that. Right? And the second was self-harm, right? What is the self-harm? And intentionally hurting yourself. Correct? So it can be, when I say self-harm, it can be so many things. It can be cutting yourself, or it can be burning, it can be hitting yourself hard. See, I had one child who was, constantly being bullied in class, and he was, he was so angry, he will always punch the wall. He always had bruises on these knuckles, actually, because he says, I am so angry, I don't know what to do. So that's why I'm punching it. So it can be hitting himself, or substance abuse as a coping mechanism. Because in the self-harm, in the cut pannikkiravanga, usually boys don't do this cutting cells, right? Girls always cut பண்ணும்போது, if you ask them, they don't feel the pain and all. So they say, I feel good, because see, this is self-harming is not suicidal, right? This cutting self and all, it is not in the intention to die, but I feel pain inside. So either cut பண்ணும்போது, I see blood, I feel good, is what most of the kids have told me. So I deal with a lot of girl children who say this, I cut so that I can feel better. Okay, so when you are or a teenager, if he's overwhelmed, if he thinks I'm worthless, then he's going to do this, because I want to feel in control. Then this is what is, this is the only thing I can do. This is the only thing which is in my control, right? And a student who's been bullied will always do self-harm. Yes, we will talk about a lot of cases also, because sometimes self-harm, I know if you're in a school setup, or if you know somebody who's done self-harm, அவங்களை கூட்டிட்டு வரவங்க, or the class teacher or any teacher has told us, ma'am, this is attention seeking, ma'am. She's simply doing this because she wants attention. He wants attention, right? 90% of the time, self-harm is not attention seeking. Self-harm is often a silent scream. I need help, an attempt to survive, right? It's not to manipulate. They don't want attention. Nobody wants attention. Nobody will cut and come and show it you. They, they are in pain, right? So tell me one thing, யாராவது, okay, what are other healthier ways you can express your emotional pain? எனக்கு self harm பண்ண வேண்டாம், but if you give, are there any other ways they can express their emotional pain?
As a friend, they can listen. Anyone can listen.
When they are not allowed to talk about it. See, nobody is, do we allow them to talk about that? Oh, you're feeling hurt? Yes, I'm here for you. We are not doing that. So what are the other
No.
ways?
No, ma'am.
Come to
They can
art
be
or
engaged in
other.
some physical activities like sports, exercise, yoga, like that.
Okay. Okay. What else? Somebody else was talking. Oh, who else was
Encourage
giving?
diary writing, ma'am.
Pardon me?
Diary writing. They need to write
Journaling,
their
right? Putting
emotions.
down how you feel and what you feel, right? Yes.
Through
And
art,
that helps.
come from the chat box.
Through
Artwork.
yeah,
Actually, if you do mandala art,
dance expression.
and if you know a child, see, if you are going through it, or if you know anybody going through that, in the mandala pictures online, like you can take printouts of that, and when you can give it to those kids who are actually going through this pain, and it helps them. It calms them down also. So art helps. Yes. What else?
We can do things what they like the most.
What they like the most, right? So that that's better way. There are better ways to express their emotional pain, even if they feel they are not allowed to talk. Nobody is there to listen. Nobody will care about me. Then these are better ways, correct? And aggression. We talked about aggression, right? So aggression is when a child is constantly criticized at home. They will come to school and they will hit others. Not because they are bad, but because they feel they feel unsafe from inside. Nobody cares about me at home. So this is what they do, right? And again, often aggressiveness masks their vulnerability. Okay, the person who doesn't know how to say, and I'm hurt when they come, what are you going through? They won't know how to say I'm hurt. They will say I'm angry instead. Correct? They are two different things. So can you tell me sometimes we would have met definitely one or two people up in our life meet பண்ணிருப்போம். Someone's anger was really about, see, they were very angry with you or very angry with somebody else, but deep inside this anger was actually not the anger on you. It was something else, something very very deep. It could be like, or fear or sadness or rejection. அதை வந்து ஆங்கரா உங்க மேல காட்டியிருப்பாங்க. Have you ever felt that? It could be anybody closer to you also, but deep inside, if you know that individual very well, then you know this is not the anger on me. This is, it is something else. He's going through something else, and it's just come out as anger on me. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and this happens for students as well. Even in school setup, it happens because they are so hurt inside. They come and show it as something else in the school setup. Right? Many times, one child will keep hurting, harming others. Right? It's rather than just punishing that child. If you know somebody, send them to a counselor, or if you have time, if you have that empathy, sit and listen to that child. Why are you doing this? Right? If you are a teacher. Okay, and there are long-term effects. It's not just, short-term. These are all short-term. But what are the long-term effects? They definitely have complex trauma. These complex
Excuse me, ma'am.
traumas can be, pardon me?
Excuse
Yes?
me, ma'am. My name is Uma Priya.
Yeah.
Previously, I was working in one school. Actually, the kid, ma'am, he usually won't do the homework and he won't bring any activity materials. If I asked him after a month or 2 months after, he told me that his parents are not ready to afford. They have money, but they don't find it time. Without knowing this, I have shouted at him 2 times. Then I realized it is not his mistake because of his parent. He was crying and sitting inside the class without a material.
I mean, if you come to know that, it is not the child's fault and I've shouted at him, you would feel bad, right?
I really feel guilty, ma'am.
Yeah. And, sometimes, actually, majority of the time, it's not the child's fault. If you
An
notice,
important
right?
lesson I learned on that day.
Yes, yeah. So because we don't know, like that's exactly what I was telling. If the child has been constantly hurt at home, he would definitely come and show it somewhere else, and that would be mostly school, right? And this complex trauma. See, has anybody felt this again? I mean, the reason I'm asking you is because you can connect and relate, so that when you're going back to school or seeing a child, you will know what I'm talking about. என்னைக்காவது உங்களுக்கு flashbacks வந்திருக்கா? ஏதோ 10 years back it happened, but you feel as if it's happening now. I remember everything. I'm feeling it right now. I'm sure all of you. One person bought, she bought her daughter, who's 30 years old, and this 30-year-old daughter is, talking and explaining as if an incident happened just 2 days back. But the mother keeps correcting, "Ma'am, அது நடந்து 10 வருஷம் ஆச்சு." See, if that child has a complex trauma, right? She's an adult, 30 plus, but she's gone through that, and it's like, reliving. It's like flashbacks. It keeps coming. I'm not able to forget that. Correct. And a trigger. See, ஏதோ ஒரு ஸ்மெல் நமக்கு வந்தா it will trigger and we'll go back to that, those whatever happened like long time back. Even small normal things. I listen, I hear that voice, then I have that fear, that person has come and I'm scared of that person. Or any place, if I get into that place, oh, I remember everything which happened here. Right? That will evoke very strong emotional reactions. Right? Very small normal things, but which is evoking very strong emotional reactions. Right? Or emotional dysregulation, they cannot manage their emotions. This, like I'm talking about long-term effects. They are not able to manage emotions. Frequent outbursts or completely shutting down. They become very numb. Right? Have you ever had that kind of a reaction? Very strong reaction to something very small. ஏதோ சின்னதா சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க, but you reacted really big for that. And then later realized, actually, you were connecting it to the past hurt, and then you reacted really big. Nothing big, but
Yes,
but
ma'am. I'm also felt that one.
you have
This is
felt that.
Niveta. I'm also felt that for my personal. It's my personal thing. I'm affected
Right.
by that.
Okay,
You are
you
right.
have also felt that. Okay. I mean, that is post-traumatic stress, PTSD or complex trauma. Anxiety and depression, எப்பவுமே ஒரு வரி, ஒரு பயத்தோடயே இருப்பாங்க, ஒரு சேடா இருப்பாங்க. There's no interest in life at all for them. Constant worry, right? So long-term emotional pain வந்து ஒரு definitely chronic anxiety கொண்டு வரும். Ongoing ஒரு worry இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும், fear இருந்துட்டே இருக்கும், restless-ஆ இருந்துட்டே இருப்பாங்க, right? So and these people, unfortunately or fortunately, they have relationship difficulties is very high for kids who have undergone bullying. Fear of intimacy is very high, and trust issues, a lot of trust issues. Because what is happening here, all these unhealed psychological wounds can make you form or maintain healthy relationships. They cannot find or form healthy relationships. These issues because, okay, or a broken trust or fear or abandonment, all these அவங்களுடைய unmet emotional needs, and all these are psychological wounds. இது எல்லாம் சரியாகாம sometimes I work with the family court. So many adults, young adults who come there for divorces, it is nothing to do with their current life. It is all their past. One of the girls was telling, oh, he never replies to my messages. See, even that is like, she feels trust issues because, oh, he left, he did not tell me anything, he left. So all of these are unmet emotional needs. So if you go back to the root and fix it, the current problem is not a problem at all. Correct? So why do you think some wounds அப்படியே they stay with us, right, for a very, very long period? Why do you think it is stuck with us?
Continuously recall it.
Yes, because you're continuously recalling it. Yeah.
That was hurted by your most favorite person, ma'am. So
Exactly. Majority of the time, it is like someone you really loved and that person did this to you, and that wound just stays with you forever. It will never fade. Right? Okay. I'll ask you another question. What do you wish like someone had told you at that moment? You felt very hurt, right? So அது முடிஞ்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் something, oh, இது சொல்லியிருந்தா எனக்கு பெட்டரா ஃபீல் ஆயிருக்கும், I would have felt better, whatever, whoever would have told.
if they have not fought with us for this reason, if they have spoken to us in a gentle manner, it would be better for me. Like that, I will think, ma'am.
Like that you would think. Okay, what else?
Maybe
Okay, they've hurt you.
share
They've hurt you, but after that hurt, they should have. I wish they said this. Or
they
someone
may
else
share
came and
their
told because I was going through that. Sorry, somebody was talking. Yeah.
they may share their problem, or they may open up with us, so we can understand the situation.
After that happens, if the one who hurt us, they have to say it's okay, leave it, we'll move on to the next one, or else it is okay, just move on, that is nothing big. If we heard that line, it will be very much pacifying for us.
You would have felt better.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, can you tell me another one? So this actually answers that next question also. What would it take? Okay, எனக்கு அந்த scar இருக்கு. Many of you told yes, 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 right? Because I have that scar, that 20 years back scar or 15 years back scar. What is that to let go of it? Or even to loosen that, because it's so rigid and sticking to me. என்ன நீங்க பண்ணினா maybe I'll feel better.
The car can't move, man. We can move on.
You can move on.
Yeah, we can move on. That's the situation. Because the happened where happened. We can't
Okay.
change that. But we can move on without, okay, let's move on. That's the only
What would you do? So that's what I'm asking. See, we could have let it go a long time back because this is such an old scar, but it's still there, right? That's the whole point of the first time I asked you to go back and think.
Maybe the hurted person, maybe trust more, they reliable for us or open up for us.
Okay.
Whatever happened, they may share. The situation may change. It will take time.
It will take time, okay? But how long?
I feel, ma'am.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. If the person hurt me means next time she or he do not do that again means it will. I feel very safe.
They should not repeat whatever they did. Okay.
Sometimes it's okay for me. After
But
that,
then you feel better.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, forgive the person who has done it.
Okay. So if you forgive the person you have done it, actually, is it easy to forgive somebody who's hurt you?
Yeah, it is not easy. At least for the personal health and mental good health, at least for that sake, we need to forgive others.
Exactly. For your mental safety, for your mental health, for your health benefits, it is okay to forgive that person because that person who hurt you is happily roaming around. You are the one, holding on to that grudge or that anger and all of that resentment, and you are the only one struggling, not the person who actually hurt you. Correct? So actually, visualization is one part we use, and I use it for therapy. So what is visualization? Like I told you, 20 years back, 30 years back, it was stronger, clearer if we are able to remember. I would always say, close your eyes and right. So I would be able to, maybe I will not forgive that person, but at least I can forget and move on, or I can at least feel better. You will have that, right? Right? So sometimes this visualization helps. Okay, maximum அவங்க என்ன பண்ணினா I will feel better. Maximum, okay, maybe they should apologize to you, or they should, okay, apology is not enough, ma'am, because that, what they have done is more than that. Only an apology will not help. Okay, what else? Okay, apology in front of everybody. Maybe sometimes that would help. Or accept that, I was wrong, you are not wrong sometimes. Or the maximum extreme, okay, அவர் என்னுடைய காலில் விழுந்து apologize பண்ணிட்டா, maybe I will move on, because that's the maximum anybody can do. Okay, if that happens, maybe I'll feel better. Start visualizing. Okay, yes, I'm sitting in that room, I'm wearing this dress, and that person is wearing that dress, and he is coming or she is coming, whoever that person is, right? And they're falling at my feet and crying and asking for sorry, that whatever they did was wrong, and asking for apology. What happens here is you're only tricking your brain. But the thing is, your brain does not know whether it is actually happening or it is your thinking about it. So your brain will start thinking that I can forget or forgive and little move on from that thing. So this visualization helps really well for all of these, so that you can feel better. It is not for the other person, it is for you, so you will feel better, right? So even before going here, I want to talk about, give you a little facts so you will know. Globally, if there are 3 kids, 1 kid has been bullied. In India alone, 42%, which means it's almost like, 1 in 2, right, has been reported being bullied in school. Okay, and among 60% they have 60% of students have told, ma'am, no adult intervention has happened. It could either be because of fear, these kids did not go tell. It could be because of shame or mistrust, because I don't trust anybody, they will not help anyways, ma'am. whatever being the reason, right? So some kids do not even go tell that bullying has happened to them, but 60% say no adult intervention has happened. Okay, and victims who are bullies, right? I mean, of bullying, victims of bullying, 9 times they are more likely, 9 times more likely to experience depression or anxiety or suicidal ideation. We think it's nothing, bullying is just like that, right? No, actually it is 9 times more likely they have this experience. Okay, and they will all be academically, they will suddenly go down drastically. Okay, school avoidance and low self-esteem, they have very poor self-esteem. What is this low? We talked about the long-term effects, right? Like it could be PTSD or social withdrawal, relationship difficulties, or substance use. All of these are long-term effects. Cyberbullying, again, whether you like it or not, we have crossed even the Western countries. We are in the top 3 now, where kids experience cyberbullying. Okay, and again here, even here in cyberbullying, 42% of kids have been bullied online. 75% of kids, 75, that number is so big, right? 75% of kids have visited a website where, see, there are kids even who are very, very, very quiet, and they are not bullies, they are not very strong, were bullies online. Very weak physically. I cannot go and hit, physical bullying, but I can target this person and I can still do cyberbullying. Correct? So most of the bullying happens online only now. So they have visited that website where one person is bashing the other person online. Okay, so bullying happens mostly in chat rooms, because you will not know, they come as strangers, and all the bullying most of the bullying happens in chat rooms. And girls, trust me, girls are twice more than the boys to be victims and perpetrators. They are the bullies also, and they are the victims also. So we think girls will not do it, right? No, but that's not true. They do it also. So victims usually often suffer in silence because, again, we will talk about it. So who do you think gets bullied? Who is the target?
Meanwhile, there is a
Who is
question
weak?
in the chat box. I have a
Okay.
question. What are the precautions to be taken not to get hurt by a person who constantly hurts?
Okay. Hurts in the sense physically, or like,
I'm not sure, ma'am. The chat box.
maybe we will remember. I'll remember that question.
Yes.
I'll ask in the end. I can answer that question.
One another participant started talking. I would request them to continue.
Yes, yes. So who are the targets here?
Those who are not financially stable or like that.
Yes, socioeconomic status. Yeah. Okay.
Low self-esteem person.
Yes, people with low self-esteem. Okay.
Ma'am, me also example, ma'am. Till date, I suffering by that. Either my nearby neighbors or whoever maybe, I am suffering by a lot. I don't know how to get rid of that.
Why, ma'am? What do they do?
I don't know. They're just telling that, just kidding. They, in the name of kidding, they can say anything. The word
Right.
just for fun, man. Just take it as easy. They can they can talk anything in any time, but we can also have to move on. Positively have to move on. I don't get it, the word positive move on, ma'am. I don't
No,
know
but
about that.
ma'am, sometimes you need to set boundaries. See, I don't like it. நீங்க boundaries நீங்க
Yes,
எவ்வளவு
ma'am,
இடம்
yes.
கொடுக்குறீங்க வச்சுதான் இல்லையா? So you can't keep moving on all the time. So will they be okay
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
keep doing it all the time? No, right? So you need to set personal boundaries to yourself. You know what? I don't like it. And these people, under the name of friendship, they do that, right? It is okay not
Yes,
to have
yes.
such friends. Correct? They're not friends actually. They're bullies.
Ma'am, I'm a little friend. Though this is happening for me, I don't know how to. Otherwise, I have any issue. I don't know to talk with them. I don't know how to express even.
Excuse
Because I'm
me, ma'am.
suffering with this.
Actually,
We will share the numbers and we will help you out, ma'am. So in the end, we will talk to
Okay,
you.
thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
We will also help you how to come over it, right? So who
Thank
are the
you, ma'am.
targets? Like, see, she's a perfect example. She's an adult, and it's not, bullying doesn't happen only to school kids. Bullying happens even as adults, right? So if you are, different in appearance, your body size or color or the way you talk
I
or
have
your
a
social.
doubt, ma'am.
Yeah.
Actually, the person who bullied would have said only 10%. Because of our character, we are exaggerating it to 80% and we are suffering. That we should have corrected. Few are discouraging themselves, not by others.
Sometimes, yes. Sometimes.
That same
So,
turning now low esteem person. So far that I mentioned that word low esteem person.
correct, low esteem, true, low esteem, and sometimes high achievers also get bullied.
Yeah, ma'am.
If they
Yes.
are, yes, so it could be due to jealousy or it could be due to competition. All
Yeah,
of that. See,
yeah,
there
of
was
course.
one child, one eighth grader. She was like she was stout and she was slightly darker. She was constantly being bullied, and the child stopped eating. Actually, she would not eat at all, and she had lost 20 kgs and she became very skinny and she fell sick frequently. So mostly for girls it is body image, right? And the cycle of bullying, again, what happens is bullies themselves, like somebody said, maybe somebody was bullying them and that's why they show it here. And if and the bullies வீட்ல வந்து அவங்களை யாரும் கண்டுக்கவே மாட்டாங்க, they've always been neglected, maybe they are being abused at home, or they have too harsh discipline rules at home, right? Or they have exposure to violence. So these are the kids who come and become bullies here. Correct? Maybe they were victims somewhere else, and I want to come here and want to prove that I'm very strong, so I will become the bully now. So that also happens, right? How do you identify these? There are a lot of hidden scars, like I told you. It's not very obvious to identify. So how do you identify these hidden scars?
Who is not
There are,
ready to interact?
pardon me, ma'am?
Who is not ready to interact with their peers?
Correct. Right? Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about, ma'am. So emotional reasons, identify emotionally. So I'm going to split it, okay? So it's either emotional or behavior and social science. So we'll split it like that. Emotionally, எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்கன்னா, or or fear of, like she said, they don't interact, or shame or guilt, right? Maybe okay, now I deserve it, it's my fault only, maybe that is why it is happening to me, and they won't take me seriously. Why they will not? If a child is suffering, why they do not come and tell anyone that they are suffering? Because that in that emotional is the first one, where what if people will judge me? What if I have, they will shame me, I have a lot of guilt, and they will normalize this pain. Correct? It will go away. This is how life will be. இதெல்லாம் ஒரு விஷயமே கிடையாது. They will normalize my pain. And fear of escalation, if I report it, it might get worse. If it is happening in a school environment, like we saw the statistics, 60% no adult is supervised. No, 60% of the cases. Then what is the point if I go tell the teacher and nobody is there in the lunch break? They might come and do it more to me, right? On fear of punishment. If in the cyberbullying case, if I go tell my mother, they will take away the gadget. I will be blamed. Correct? So why tell and why give away my phone and my freedom? So they will not tell, right? And again, lack of trust also. I've told this teacher, and the teacher went and gossiped in us, talked about this to everybody. So I don't trust anybody. Correct? And there is no emotional outlet. Where is, emotional outlet irukkalam, but safe on emotional outlet. Who would listen to me, ma'am? Who is there to listen to me? Right? Fear of disappointing the parents. Correct? அதுவும் especially this high achieving kids-க்கு வந்து ஸ்கூல்ல bully ஆயிட்டு இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா, they will never go tell the parents. I will give you a case history for that also. And this quote, this sentence is from a teenager actually who survived bullying. I asked him, like, a lot of sessions he has come, and why didn't you tell anybody? Why didn't you tell your parents? You could have told your teacher, right? You could have gone to the counselor. You know what he told? He said, "Ma'am, I didn't tell anyone because I thought they were telling I was being dramatic. But only I know I was breaking inside. And nobody was there. No, these were the reasons he told. I don't trust anybody. Who should I tell? Who will listen to me?" Just imagine how that child would have felt when, nobody will trust me. Why tell? Why bother? Let me suffer. Correct? That's the emotional reason. So this behavioral reason, right? How will you identify this invisible signs behaviorally? Sudden withdrawal, suddenly stop talking to friends, or if you're in a school setup, Changes in mood பார்க்கலாம். Break times they will not go out at all. They will just sit in the classroom. They will not eat with anybody else, all by themselves. Sometimes they don't come to school at all. So currently I am handling a grade 6 child. School started in April. This child has not gone to school at all. First day somebody made fun of her. Every day she would give some excuse. My stomach is hurting. And see, if you're highly stressed, your stomach will hurt, right? And headaches, constant. She will give some excuse or the other. She will not go to school. It is almost, mid-June. She has not started school at all. And loss of interest in things. What they used to enjoy, also they don't enjoy. Hypervigilance, jumpiness. ரொம்ப ஹைப்பரா இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கும். But after the trauma, again, that we are going to talk in the next few slides. Okay. Social signs எப்படி கண்டுபிடிப்பீங்க அப்படின்னா, again, breaks or meals, even lunch break, they will not step out. They will not use the restroom. And after the break is over, then they will come and ask the teacher, now can I go use the restroom? Because, during the breaks is when bullying happens. Usually for amongst the boys, restroom is where bullying happens. Right? So adnala they will stop using restrooms during breaks. Academic performance, for no reason, but drastically it is going down. Online behavior, too much being online, or online bullying, cyberbullying nadakudhu appadina, suddenly they would disappear from everywhere. Like ella apps you delete pannittu, they become very quiet. They will not even go online. So which means something is happening, right? So usually students will show their pain in behavior only, not words, because they don't know how to express their emotions. So only through behavior they will show their pain. Okay. So how does this bullying affect the brain and their development? Stress நடக்குது அப்படின்னா your brain is being hijacked ன்னு அர்த்தம். So when bullying is happening, what is my brain going to do? My brain will go into survival mode. Now survive ஆகணும். இந்த bullying நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு. So how do I survive this? A lot of kids are, joining together and constantly, even as an adult, you are one adult. There are 6 people around you talking about you, making fun of you, teasing you, touching you, pulling your hair. How will you feel? You will want to run away from that place, right? You want to, be safe. So you will get into the survival mode. Right? So what are the parts which is getting activated at that time? Your amygdala. Where is this amygdala? Is the back of your brain, that's the only, if you can see here, the blue arrow is showing the amygdala. It's a very small portion in your brain, but that's the emotional part of the brain. So fear center that gets hyperactive. So adnalda, I'm always scanning for threats. Okay, now what is going to happen? How do I survive this? How do I run away from this? How do I push that person and run away? Correct? Above prefrontal cortex, though it is not completely developed, angada, your thinking, your decision making, all of that. And because it is not, anyway, it is not developed, so adu vandu underactive. It is not activated at all. Hyperactive is amygdala, underactive is this one. And your body will release cortisol, which is the stress hormones. Constant stress hormone release பண்ணிக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். So what happens here? This means this bullied child, the previous slide la paathom illaya, the child will appear very anxious and jumpy all the time. He is like unfocused or emotionally numb. So this is because the brain is at that time, immediately after the bullying kaprom, and the child is trying to survive, not learn. So on the kid on the class, they cannot study, they cannot focus. So even constantly in a survival mode, how can I learn? I have to be calm, otherwise I cannot learn, right? So that's why their academic performance goes down. Okay, the long-term brain chemistry changes also. Like what is long-term? Chronic stress from bullying can lead to lower serotonin levels, which is linked to depression. Irregular dopamine levels that will affect your your motivation or your rewards, or your self-worth is decreased. Disrupted oxytocin is the love hormone, right? So there is, when that is disrupted, in the trust irukadu, in the bonding irukadu, so all of that happens because this oxytocin levels are disrupted. So biochemical imbalances will increase your risk in anxiety agaton, depression agaton, self harm, idellam because of the much happening inside. All of this is happening to me. Okay, impact on identity and your self-concept. Bullying will definitely alter how a child sees themselves also. Correct? What will a bully think about himself? I am not good. I don't belong. Something is wrong with me. அப்படின்னு நினைச்சிட்டே இருக்கும்போது இதெல்லாம் core belief ஆயிடும். So when this core belief will definitely affect their academic confidence. Automatically, academically, they will go down. Friends இருக்க மாட்டாங்க. Career choice கூட சரியா choose பண்ண முடியாது. They cannot be in a romantic relationship at all. So all of these problems do happen, yeah, just because of bullying. So interrupted developmental tasks and so childhood and adolescence. Am I too fast? Is the speed okay? Yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay. So, okay. Childhood and adolescence, the child is actually learning to form or a sense of safety or a stable identity. Who am I? And the answers. And emotional regulation skills. இது எல்லாமே அந்த ஏஜ்ல தான் டெவலப் ஆகும். But what happens when bullying is happening? Bullying will disrupt all of these milestones. So that's why they have the social withdrawal or fear of trusting anybody or poor emotional control or aggression. So because it's not allowed to form proper in the skills எதுவுமே டெவலப் ஆகாம it is disrupted. But what the good news here is the brain can heal. Right, all of this, a child can come out all of these things if he's in a safe relationship, if he has or a consistent emotional support engirundo enakku kadachite irukku, then your brain can heal actually. Or you're going for therapy, okay, you have a mentor who's actually supporting. When all of this is happening, your brain can heal and they can, it's not like you're stuck there. You're stuck there when you don't have all of these things. Right? So I would, like I told you, I have a few case histories. So one 14-year-old boy, and again, he's a survivor. He's still under counseling with us, and extremely bright student. Like I told you, படிக்கிற பசங்களையும் targets இருப்பாங்க because they don't know all the other things. They are focused only on academics. People were constantly making fun of him, so he started crying. Oh, you're a crybaby, you're a crybaby. Just imagine being in a co-ed school. If the boys make fun of you, they will not like it. But teacher also ignored it. Ma'am, it's harmless teasing, ma'am. They only called him a crybaby. Even though romba yosiche idu pannittu irukkan. But we had to do so many sessions for this child to come out of this. We always mistake emotional pain. And the child emotional pain go through pannittu irundha, oh, he's an introvert, ma'am. Usually academicians அப்படிதான் இருப்பாங்கன்னு teachers assume. So yeah, he's always like this, ma'am. It's always like that. He always takes things seriously, ma'am. That's not true. Right? And this, he is actually, இது verbal bullying தான் நடந்துட்டு இருந்தது. And he became very withdrawal. He was not talking to anybody at all. And though he would tell, parents கிட்ட போய் நிறைய வாட்டி சொல்லியிருக்கான், but then he'll say, I'm fine, I'll take care. But later on, he admitted, I feel invisible is what he told. So which means there are some words, அப்போ அதெல்லாம் நீங்க ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணீங்கன்னா it becomes easier how to identify if this child is going through. Why would you feel invisible? Right? Even in a classroom of 40, why are you feeling invisible? Right? And another case, and this was there in newspapers and everywhere actually. Or a 46-year-old nurse from India, she went to UK. And you get these prank calls, right? And those prank calls were ரொம்ப ரியலா இருக்கிற மாதிரி prank calls இருக்கும். She was a nurse and she was working in a hospital. So she and the prank call எப்படி இருந்ததுன்னா, oh, I'm Queen Elizabeth and Prince Charles speaking. And she couldn't, I think it was a prank call. See, she thought it was real, and she, transferred it to the head, on the phone caller, assuming it was. But this prank call made international headlines, and how she became a public mockery. So she felt humiliated, though the hospital was actually supporting her. She did not do anything wrong here, but just 2 days later, she killed herself, suicide பண்ணிக்கிட்டா. So this actually, even because of public shaming, because of guilt, because of emotional isolation, she did not die because of her mistake. She died because of public shame, because of this emotional overwhelm, because of lack of support. Though she was a nurse, she didn't know who to talk to. Correct? If there was somebody to listen to her, and it is not your fault, why do you feel bad about it? It's okay. The people are mocking online, people are making fun of you. It is okay, this will get away. You can come out of it. But there was nobody to tell her that. Her family was here, she was there, and she killed herself there. She was 46 years old. right? And another child I told you, right, 14-year-old who was body shamed and had to reduce. She would stop eating and she was continuously falling sick because of that. And very, very recently, there was another case, April, in one of the leading schools in Chennai, where that child wrote a letter and jumped from the 4th floor because of bullying. He had written the names of kids that these people have been constantly bullying me, and I don't know what else to do. And he had written the names and just kept that letter, and he jumped from. We should all feel guilty that it's he didn't die because it was his fault. Now, you can't say he was weak. He was, that child was one, again, that was a red flag where the teachers missed, because he would never use restroom in the break time. He would always ask the teacher who comes after the break, he will ask, okay, one day you will think like, you just got, the break is just over, and why are you asking? So that's a very normal question any teacher will ask, right? Ippandana break mudinjadu. Adukulla why do you want to go? I will not let you go. But every day if he's asking, then you should have identified, you should have asked, why, what is happening, correct? So these are again warning signs a teacher should not miss. Okay, what can schools do about it? Schools play a major role, because most of the bullying happens in the school environment also. Okay, or a anonymous reporting channel, though we call it as Dropbox vechirundalu, the Dropbox cannot be in front of the principal's office. The Dropbox cannot be, nobody will come and drop it. So it can be in a counselor's room, or it can be somewhere where it is safe for the child to come and drop it and go. Or you can send an email, don't mention your name, but you send an email to us, we will take care. But when they are dropping something in the Dropbox, please take it, read, and then we'll have to give them some solutions, right? Yeah. So weekly check-ins, actually we found that on the Mari or POXO case, because in the drop-in box lab, our child had written about one teacher who was been abusing her. So we found one case like that, so that helped. So similarly, so you have to take action. Just putting it in the Dropbox alone will not help. Somebody has to be there who's in charge of that and take actions also. Weekly check-ins, or class mentor kit you, or a counselor to you. How is the emotional things here happening in the classroom, right? Or a designated safe space in the campus where the child can go take a break, or take a break and talk to somebody, or just be themselves, correct? And we need to train our teachers to listen without any judgment, without you don't have to fix anything, you just listen, correct? Normalize. Okay, asking for help is not a weakness, it is actually a strength. When somebody is coming and asking you, ma'am, I need help, don't make fun of him. Don't make, oh, you're me, உனக்கு இதுக்கு மட்டும் help வேணுமா, மத்த எதுவுமே நீ பண்ண மாட்டேங்கிற. Never mock a child, correct? They're trusting you, they're coming to you, then you need to help them, correct? Give them real life examples. This is such a silly thing, you need not harm yourself or do anything like that. Give them real life examples where they have survived, right? All a student needs is just one adult who will truly listen to them. You all agree to that? Somebody who will trust me, and one space where I can feel safe, and that moment where I feel seen. It's okay, I'm here to, you can go ahead, you can tell me what you're feeling. That's exactly what a school should do. Why must we address bullying, right? It's a need, right? Because emotional pain is real. Just because there is no visible scars, you cannot see visible scars in majority of the cases, that doesn't mean there is no suffering. People can look fine from the outside, but you don't know if they are breaking inside, like how that boy told, right? I would keep saying I'm fine, ma'am, but I was breaking inside. I was melting inside, right? Ignoring the pain doesn't make it go away, correct? It is only going to make it worse. Okay, I keep bottling it up. Bottling it up. It's not going to make it fine. It is going to make it worse, correct? So always or pain crisis அப்படினா or cast photo. Okay, I have a broken hand, or I'm in a POP. Then we feel sorry for that person. Oh, how are you, right? But we always ignore this pain which is inside, right? Because silence can be deadly. When a student has taught to hide their emotions, don't be dramatic, or they will never talk to you. They'll stop speaking, correct? Because the silence builds shame, isolation, and hopelessness, and that is where all the self-harm and suicide thoughts, substance use, all of that will come, right? So we are actually losing too many kids, not because they didn't know how to ask for help, correct? Not because they wanted to die. If a person, I was with Sneha, so it's like they always say, it's like it was just that 1 minute they needed to talk to somebody. You could have saved that person, right? Early help prevents lifelong damage, right? Sorry, unaddressed bullying, trauma, and emotional distress. We did discuss about it, right? So it goes to anxiety or depression or PTSD or broken relationship. All of that happens. Schools and families should be and are the first line of defense. So students, because they spend most of the time at school, and if teachers, counselors, and parents should be trained to listen and support the emotional health of the child and prevent breakdowns. Okay, before they happen, we will do so many things. That's not going to help, right? So consistently, are we doing something about it? Oh, the other school which I told, like, bullying happened, the person died. Okay, ma'am, can you please come and do a bullying session? See, that's not how it works. It has to happen consistently. Are you all teachers trained to listen properly, right? So okay, then what is the other one here? Because healing is possible, right? So mental health challenges are not a life sentence and all. So with empathy and with therapy, with connection, they just need that safe space, and people can recover, grow, and thrive. Okay. So what can we do? These are the things we need to do. Not necessarily you have to be a counselor. So be available for the child. Just listen without judgment. So please stop saying it's not a big deal. Ni stronger irukano. You have to fight back, toughen up. None of that will work. Just listen to them. They're not looking for solutions. Right? Talk about mental health openly. It is okay. Normalize emotion, conversations like emotions. It's okay for a boy child to cry in solitude. It is okay, talk about stress, talk about anxiety, talk about therapy. So use age appropriate ways, okay, feelings on the, நான் ஒரு 12th grade child கிட்ட பேசுறத போய் நான் 6th grader கிட்ட பேச முடியாது. But it's okay to talk about feelings inside the classroom and inside the houses, right? Share, like I told you, நீங்க உங்களுடைய real life cases எல்லாம் சொல்லுங்க. Maybe if it happened to you, you talk about that also. It has happened to me also. This is how I came out of it. Or I was not able to come out of it and I'm still struggling. I don't want you to go through that. Correct? So emotionally safe spaces create பண்ணி கொடுங்க. Ensure school is, not just for learning. It is like, that child should belong there. Only then they will want to come back to school. Right? Train students, and I'm sure you all have these in the, monitors and SPLs and all of these people. Train them as well. So create emotionally safe places. Take every sign seriously. If they're coming and telling, don't think he'll become okay. Oh, he's become very quiet. Then take it very personal. Because prevention is protection. Right? Be that one trusted adult. When they come and tell you something, don't again, take it as a gossip topic to your staff room. Never. Or see, if it was your child, will you go gossip to somebody else? We will never do that, right? So we should not be doing it for any child. Right? What can we teach our kids to do? This is not necessarily for teachers alone. It is for parents as well, right? Speak up when something feels wrong. Okay, you tell a teacher and the teacher is not taking it seriously, but find that trusted person. See, as an adult, you need to find the trusted person for your child. Correct? And again, I will tell you who you can contact also in a minute. Check in on your friends. Are they okay? உன்னோட friend நீ கேளு 2 days ஸ்கூலுக்கு வரலன்னா கால் பண்ணி கேளு நீ ஓகேவா? Correct? That is true friendship. Correct? Not making fun of the child when the child is absent. Correct? Is there at least 2 friends you should have who's actually, who misses you when you're not there, who doesn't talk bad about you when you're not there. Correct? And report bullying. See, bullying is actually not accepted in any schools. Like if bullying happens, it is very similar to ragging. So ragging college nadanda, they will send the child out. The bully வந்து வெளிய அனுப்பிடுற மாதிரி தான் schools also will treat bullying. So if bullying is happening, even if it's not happening to you, if it is happening to somebody and you're seeing it, teach your kids, go report it. It is okay. Choose kindness over silence. You don't have to be quiet. When bullying is happening, don't be quiet. Go report. Okay? Ask for help. And teach your kids, asking for help is bad. No. Ask for help. You need help? Nobody will know you need help. Open up and talk, right? So we need to remember, if you ever been bullied, you should know this. It's not, what they said. It is what you did. So you don't have to blindly listen to what others tell you, and you don't have to blindly trust that whatever they say. If you're, if you're, people say like, oh, ma'am, I'm broken. You can tell them, it's okay. You can heal. You are rising. Be resilient. Teach them resilience. That's all we can do, right? If you're someone who if you can be a good listener, be a supporter, or you are the safe space for that child, please do that, because otherwise they will not come to you, right? So because your kindness can be a turning point for a child. So be that person who a child trusts, and be there for anybody, and these are some of the helplines you can call. This is Sneha, and this is for suicide, mainly for suicide. So it's only if they have self-harm thoughts, you need to be here. Otherwise, I've given Arya Samaj numbers, Mind Care Counseling numbers, and you can reach out to these numbers, the last two numbers. You can call them and take an appointment. We have a lot of counselors who can help you and guide you, right?
Excuse me,
And
ma'am.
these are, yeah.
I have a doubt. I'm sorry, don't mistake me.
No, not at all. Tell me.
Whether all these numbers are reaching kids, is there anyone to say this frequently to our kids? Because certain kids don't know these numbers are available. They couldn't see anywhere in the posters, or no
Yes.
teachers are sharing all these details. How come they will know all these things?
Ma'am, at DAV, at least we tell, wherever I go for sessions, I do tell them these numbers, and at least we will make sure these numbers are there. See, at least Mind Care numbers, most of the DAV schools and associate schools know it, ma'am. And if not, Preeti ma'am, are these numbers in the diary of the
Yes,
DAV?
actually, they are in the school calendar. They are in the DAV owned schools. There is a standee outside, and in every poster we share, at the bottom we give these numbers, ma'am.
So these numbers are there. If you are a DAV parent, it will be there in your school calendar, ma'am.
Yes,
And if it
ma'am.
is not,
Actually, I'm a DAV parent. I could see this in DAV, but the school which I was working before, I could see the small poster over the near the office room. The kids won't even walk by that side. So sure,
correct.
I think so. No one would have alerted over it.
Correct. I understand. See, ma'am, actually, we can only talk to principals, and whenever we get a chance, we do talk about it, and we always give our numbers and tell them, in classrooms we do, but there are some schools who who have not taken it seriously. And if you are working in a school, if it is not DAV, you can still talk about this, right? And they
Sure,
don't
ma'am.
charge
Sure.
much at all. So yes, and now that and if there is a group, because you worked there previously, you can share these numbers to one of the academic coordinators or somebody. Tell them, like, if any child needs help, there is help available. The problem is these kids don't know where to get help, right? Mind Care is
Even
doing an amazing job because they do it free of cost for most of the kids.
even if there is no posters, also what I request is, not my kid is in the primary section only. So what I thought, if the teachers who are all frequently coming, either the class teacher whom was visiting frequently, at least take a minute to share. We have certain numbers. If you want, we can use it. That's all. A minute over. That's all.
Sure. We'll do that, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So we've come to the end of the session, and if there is any questions or concerns, please go ahead.
Ma'am, actually, you told about visualization, right?
Right.
We just started with that. So about that removing the scar. So what kind of visualization helps the child to come out of the scar?
Child, okay, I can tell you that one, ma'am. So actually, Prashasti team has asked for they have shared the feedback form in the chat box. If you can take a minute and fill that, that will be helpful for them. So just take 2 minutes to fill that form. See, for a child, again, ma'am, we have to be with the child. See, as an adult, I just told you how to do it, and you can do it. When a child comes and tells me, these are the things I've been going through from this age. So there again, visualization helps, and it's usually face to face, ma'am.
Okay.
So from grade 6 onwards, I have tried, and it has worked.
Okay.
So you have to make, if it's a boy, always make the child sit next to you, not in front of you. And you talk about, right? So it's like guided meditation. You close your eyes, and I'm sure you remember that boy's face or that girl's face or whoever made fun of you, right? So do you remember the place where you were in? So it must be a classroom, or it must be a bathroom, it must be, wherever. So, okay, what did he do to you? So they have to relive that moment and then come out of it. Go back to that scene, go back, instead of, bottling it up, because they remember all of that.
Correct.
Take them to that scene, and then, okay, how would it be like, okay, he was making fun of you, he was pulling your hair, he was pulling your trousers. So how would it feel like if you were a superhero and punched all of them? Can you imagine? Like if it's a sixth grader, this will work. But if it's a 10th grader, it will not work. He will say like, stop it. It's not even funny. How can I be a superhero and punch them? So, but then you'll have to do something else. Okay, you couldn't hit everybody. Okay, how would you feel if you were invisible at that time? So you can go punch everybody. Right? So you become very creative in your visualization. So whatever will help them come out of it. Right? Till 8th grade, superhero will work, ma'am. After 9th, it will not work. So you had a superpower. What would you do with that? Right? So change your questions and make them feel, what would make you feel better? So, okay, the school found out, using the camera, they found out. How would you, feel when all the 4 boys were made to stand, in front of the entire school and, fall at your feet and ask for apology? And, they were shamed, or their parents were called, and, or police was also called, or the school said, I'm giving TC for all 4. How would you feel? Okay, will that make you feel a little better? Will you help, when you go back to that scene, and every time, because you're tricking your brain, every time I'm there, you only remember what they did to you, right? But if instead of that, if this happened to you in front of the whole school, they were humiliated, my principal started shouting at them, and they were embarrassed. Right? Will that make you feel a little better? Not completely better, little better. Yes. So the next time, because what is happening because of this bullying, and that child has to go back to the same class again and again. The next, how much can a child avoid these 4 boys? And they're going to repeat it over and over again. So next time I see these boys, okay, for me, in my head, I'm imagining these things, right? Oh, they fell at my feet and the principal made fun of them and all of this. It's easier for this boy to ignore them. Otherwise, it's going to be like, how do I run away from them? How do I ignore them? And, how do I escape them? This is how they would have been in the school. But this visualization, they can be however imaginative they want, they can be.
Okay.
Right? Okay. The principal was so upset and angry. She said, all of you should shave your hair, hair and come to school tomorrow. That is the punishment or she comes and asks you, what punishment do you want me to give them? Whatever you tell, I'm going to do that to them. And there are schools, trust me, there are schools like that. So one of the schools I visited, bullying happened. I said, like, you should be, he came to me to tell that they are bullying. 4 boys constantly bullying me, calling me names, mocking at me. So I said, go to the principal, write a letter and submit it. See what happens. And then principal did call these 4 boys and asked this victim, you tell me what I should do to these boys. If you ask me to give them, they should be suspended, I will suspend them. You tell me, I give that authority to you.
Okay.
And, actually he said, just forgive them.
Okay.
That's exactly what this boy did. And in 8th standard, we never expected that. We thought, okay, you should punish them, you should do this. So he said, ma'am, ask them to apologize and we will forgive them and ask them not to repeat. And he was, so nice of that boy. And we told him, it's okay, you can tell whatever you want. But that's what he did. And after that, he was never bullied. Those 4 boys never bullied because we saw a change in them, I'm sure they were scared, like their parents would be called and it would be they would be suspended for 2 to 5 days, right? And it's a shame, just they have to live in that house, the parents constantly, hurting or hitting them. And then, they did not become friends, but these kids did not bully bully him at all. Hi da, what da, this da. They became, that kind of, at least hi bye relationship.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for your great explanation. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes. Any other questions? Any other concerns? And you don't have to ask. I'm sure, I think the feedback also will have a space for your questions, and you can ask your questions later on also, if in case, right? We will get back to you on that. And I'm sure you would have noted down the numbers. And in case you're not a DAV and you are from a different school, you can call us. And even for adults, they take a very, very, very minimal charge. And I can tell you that's the cheapest on earth. So it's like they charge you 300 rupees. That's all. Right? Yeah.
Ma'am, are we still open for questions, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Any questions?
Ma'am, I would like to highlight a small incident which happened to me. I am a DAV parent, and I don't want to take names here anywhere. And there are few instances where the kids have told that what's happening to them in the class, and it seems that the teacher either don't understand or they like, if suppose நான் தமிழ்ல சொல்றேன்னா நான் வந்து ஒரு பையனை அடிச்சிடுறேன், அந்த அடிப்பட்ட பையன் சொல்றான் போயிட்டு மேம் இவன் அடிச்சிட்டான்னு சொல்லிட்டு, தென் the ma'am tells like both of you stand out of the class அந்த மாதிரி சொல்றாங்க சில சமயம். இது நடந்திருக்கு. And what happened is I personally don't encourage beating kids. And now first thing what I ask from the school, because I personally pick my kids up, drop and pick up. First time I ask like, இன்னைக்கு என்ன நடந்தது, good, bad, and which you want to forget. That is, these things happened. And there has been few instances where constantly a single person is beating the kids, and this has happened. Now I've told them like, நீ class ma'am கிட்ட சொல்லு. Then ரெண்டு மூணு சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் we have told it to principal and all these things. And at one point of time I lost my total patience, and I told the parent also. She told like, even my kid is getting beating னு சொன்னாங்க. So like, you won't believe, in this academic year that boy has gone out of school. The first thing my boy told to me was like, appa, today is my happiest day, that boy has gone out of school. இந்த மாதிரி தான் என்ன மேம் பண்ண முடியும்? Like, how can we educate the parents in a better way so that they do something good to the kids in the home, so that they don't behave as a bully in the class? Hope you understand my point,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
I don't know. I remember நீங்க கேட்டீங்களான்னு தெரியல. இந்த ஸ்கூல்ல வீட்ல கான்ஸ்டன்டா அவனை பெருசா மதிக்காத கிட்ஸ் எப்பவுமே அவனை சரியா ட்ரீட் பண்ணலனாலும் they become bullies in the school.
Certain kids who are facing brutality in their homes or violence in home, illa neglected kid irupanga. So I don't know how to tell that one on the other person's.
Actually, இதை நீங்க வீட்ல சொல்ல, I mean உங்க son கிட்ட சொல்லலாம், because there will be like 1 or 2 bullies wherever he goes, right? So which grade is your child in?
My grade is in 6, ma'am. There are twin boys.
Because இன்னொரு 6 more years இருக்கு. See, இந்த மாதிரி bullies வருவாங்க போவாங்க. But you can tell your child, see, maybe he was going through that. That doesn't mean your child has to put up with the bullying, right? Bullying is a strict no. And because you said you are a DAV parent, DAV bullying is a strict no. You can directly go write a letter and submit it to the head of the schools or any, academic coordinator. யாராவது இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா, ma'am, I'm writing this letter. I've already informed all of the teachers and no action has been taken. I expect some action to be taken. Sure. And I am sure action will be taken, ma'am. So because bullying is a strict no at DAVs, so in any school, right? So
sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any questions which you are not able to ask in this forum, please use the feedback form to reach out to Jyoti ma'am. So we will share the questions with Jyoti ma'am, and if you want counseling or any session for you or your known people also, with Jyoti ma'am, we'll be able to arrange. So please reach out to us either through the feedback form or through the numbers which have been shared.
Ma'am, one question, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
In schools, ma'am, even two kids fight for some silly things like taking rubber, pencil, or is fighting with me, is punching me like that. Some teachers, I am saying about some teachers, when they go when the kids go and complain about that, they are not taking that much serious, ma'am. That is, they are not hearing to. They simply say, go and sit. don't repeat such things. Go and simply sit. They are saying, ma'am. What happens means the boy who is not punching or who is not hitting really get hurt. அவன் அடிச்சிட்டான் அப்படின்னு போய் சொல்லும்போது ஏன் அடிச்சிங்க என்னன்னு கேட்டு இது பண்ணும்போது தே கேன் ஃபீல் பெட்டர். போய் உட்காருங்க இதெல்லாம் கொண்டு வராதீங்க கேட்கும்போது அந்த அடிக்காத பையன் இருக்கான்ல மேம் அவன் வந்து ரொம்ப ஹர்ட் ஆகுறான்னு எனக்கு ஃபீல் ஆகுது.
True. It happens, and the problem, ma'am, is I mean, I'm not talking only about DA. I'm talking about all schools. It's like, this is like a daily story, and every day 40 kids will keep coming and talking, right? I see. I understand we have to sensitize the teachers. Okay, enna adikave illa, but enna adichite irukanga appadina. Yes, they have to take action, but the problem is this: every day, and if the child, நீங்க பேசுறத வச்சு பார்த்தா, the child must be in the very younger grades. So yeah, right. So it becomes very difficult for the teacher also, because one child comes, all 30 want to come and complain about something, and this teacher is busy. I want to finish this topic, and this teacher is not able to. So maybe tell your child, ma'am, எல்லாம் முடிச்சிட்டு அங்க உட்கார்ந்து இருக்கும்போது, then ask your child to go talk to the teacher. Ma'am, I want to say something to you. இந்த மாதிரி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுங்க. Not when the classes happening.
Yeah, adu okay, ma'am. He is doing at the end of the class only. It's not about my child.
Right, I understand. Whichever child, ma'am, whichever child was, I understand what that child is going through, because I didn't do anything, and the mother also is going to feel the same thing. There are so many kids hitting my child. My child is the one getting affected, and teacher is not taking action. So whichever child that is, ask your friend or whoever that parent is, ask your child to go, okay, during lunch break, because I know at least in DAV, all teachers sit in the in the classroom even during lunch breaks and snack breaks. Ask him to go during the lunch break or snack break. Ma'am, can I say something? See, automatically, if you go constantly keep complaining, ma'am, he's hitting me, this one is doing this, he took my eraser, this boy is becoming a complaining box, is what they want. Ma'am, I want to say something, this boy is constantly hitting me, or I'm hurt. Then a teacher will listen, ma'am. We will also, okay, this point I will note, and when we have a teachers workshop, we will sensitize the teachers also.
Okay, ma'am. I was shocked that அந்த பையன் எனக்கு நான் இந்த மாதிரி பல இன்ஸ்டன்ஸ் சொல்லியும் அவங்க வந்து என்ன இது பண்ணாம அந்த தப்பு பண்ண பையனையே ஓகே விட்டுருங்க அப்படின்ற மாதிரி லைக் பனிஷ்மெண்ட்டோ இல்லை எதுவுமே ஹார்ஷா சொல்லாம லைக் எந்த ஒரு இதுவும் வார்ன் பண்ணாம சொல்லும்போது வாட் திஸ் பாய் சேயிங் எனக்கு அந்த மிஸ்ஸே பிடிக்கல, எனக்கு அவங்க வந்து நான் என்ன சொன்னாலும் ஷீ இஸ் நாட் அட் ஆல் ஹியரிங் டு மீ அப்படின்ற மாதிரி சொல்லி மிஸ்ஸே பிடிக்கல அப்படின்ற அந்த இதுக்கு வரேன் மேம். So
correct. See, that's very normal, and it happens, and other younger grades I'm saying something, there's no response from the teacher, so I don't like her at all. That's very normal. So ask the parent not to badmouth the teacher. Instead, maybe ஒரு PTM la இத பத்தி class teacher ட்ட பேச சொல்லுங்க, and the child also can go during the lunch breaks and talk to the teacher, so she is at least a little relaxed, so she has that time and patience to listen to the child.
Okay, ma'am.
ஏன்னா கிளாஸ் நடக்கும்போது நீங்க போய் சொல்லும்போது automatically she wants to shut you all off, because I want to take the class, I want to finish this topic today.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Shall I say one thing, ma'am?
Yes.
Usually in DAV, you will conduct an orientation class in the beginning of all the academic year for parents.
Correct.
It will be too good. You usually say parents should not fight in front of the kids. You usually address all these things.
Right.
But this bullying topic arises when parents are not ready to listen. If the kid would have informed their parents, the problems they would have solved there itself. But parents themselves are not so friendly. What I suggest is, in front of Mike, you can even say, the bullying place starts when you people are not listening. Ask the parents at least to listen for a few minutes, because as a teacher, you can't address all the kids at every time. Ask the parents in the meeting saying all these suicide problems arises because you are not listening. So you just insist a word, please be friendly with the kids.
Sure. Okay, if there are no questions, can we wind up, or are there any questions, concerns? I hope the session made sense, right?
Fine. Thank you.
Done.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for the
Thank
great
you, ma'am.
session, ma'am. Thanks to all the participants. We will
Thank you so
now close the session, ma'am. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you.
Namaste, ma'am. Thank you.
Namaste. Yeah.
Namaste, ma'am.